introduction. And that is true. As I said, this next person was better known than Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and all these presidents. I would say that this man is known to at least 250 million people. And he's, are you there?
He said that?
Is that yourself?
Oh, it's his.
Malachy McCourt, yeah.
Malachy, how are you, my good man?
Well, no, I'll tell you, I was just saying that you need no introduction.
Well, a man in the lobby the other day said, "Hey, Regis." So I don't know if you... I'm not sure what you're saying is true.
Well, I'm just going to say, the only thing I'll say is your name. This is Phil Donahue. The man, Mr. Talk Show, the man who practically invented the interview on television in America. I think you're the founder, the inspiration of just about everybody that has come afterwards. And there's nobody as easy, as intelligent, as sensitive. And one great thing is that you're amazing and terrific sense of humor. And that, my dear man, is a saving grace that we all need these days. What are you thinking these days, Phil?
Well, you know what? I have a bit of a, I guess, a little different. I think we asked for Trump. I really do. You know, we had more and more people making more and more money. We got a Congress that has fabulous health care that they don't even have to pay for. Our kids can't pay back their college loans. You know, and the working stiff is coming home, sitting down reading the paper after working on his feet all day, gets his clothes dirty, sits down, and he reads where a guy in a hedge fund made $1 million on Thursday.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do this to the average man. You just can't. Sooner or later, they're going to go kaboom. And in this case, the kaboom was the election of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Not only that, oh, my God, you got a talk show host talking. Malachy, you may never get in this show. I mean, really.
Well, I'll tell you, Phil, when we, I call it, there's a kind of a Hitlerian syndrome that the reason that man rose out of the ashes with that dopey Versailles Treaty after the war, the First World War, was because of exactly what there were a couple of people making a whole lot of money, and he just said, okay, we can't do that. And so he got corporations on his side, and he got the average working guy on his side, and off Germany went. And we allowed them, and we did too. We gave him arms, and we had all those American firsters, and we had all those conservative. He had a picture of Henry Ford in his office. He had a picture of the guy from IBM, Watson, I think it was. They gave Lindbergh a medal in 1937, and up he rose. And then we sure did buy that one. But anyway, I'm not saying this guy, and Hitler did say that all great events have been inspired by the spoken word. He knew that. But this guy cannot speak. He has two words, amazing and incredible. But yet, and yet people say, well, he talks like us. He doesn't talk like anybody. He talks like a complete jerk, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, are you hopeful?
Well, I mean, I am hanging on to the Constitution.
Yeah.
If it works, if it's adhered to, we have a chance. The problem is we have a lot of hypocrisy in this country.
Yeah.
We're the best, we're the greatest, we're the all-time everything.
Yeah. That coming from people who have never stirred out of the country.
That's true, and never fought in any wars either.
Exactly.
And
what about?
I think there's a lot about America that is exceptional.
Yeah.
But
yes,
be better
indeed.
If somebody from another country said that about us.
Yeah.
We're walking around beating our breasts like a bully in the playground. The greatest, the last remaining superpower.
Yeah.
Our men, our brave men, our men who fight and go to war, and our brave men, our wonderful soldiers. Our soldiers come home, and the VA doesn't call them back.
Yeah.
We are talking to ourselves, and worse, when we do, we believe it.
40% of the homeless are Vietnam veterans.
Yeah. And how many suicides?
Every day. Yeah. Every day we have. Yeah, sure. But it's always been the same. It's always been the same. Listen, you've done your bit now, and you've defended democracy, and the purpose, of course, is to defend the rich people's riches and possessions and their assets.
Absolutely
and all that
true.
Kind of thing.
That is true.
So back to and forward, I should say, to you are the honoree this year of the Irish American Writers and Artists, and following. You're not following in anybody's footsteps, but because of your accomplishments in so many ways in the arts, in the spoken word, and your intelligence, your sensitivity. Do you know what annoys me, Phil? We are, thee and me and others, we are of Irish extraction. And an Irish poet, A.E., George Russell, said that you eventually become the thing you hate the most. And how anybody of Irish extraction can become a conservative is beyond me. John Stuart Mill said, not all conservatives are stupid, but all stupid people are conservative. And surrounding this guy in the White House at this moment are a platoon of Irish Americans. There's Ryan, and there's Spicer, there's Kelly, the other guy, Mulready, or whatever, the budget guy, Bannon, and all that. I don't understand how. And there was, of course, our famous. There were other people we could be proud of. The Eugene McCarthy and Phil Donahue and Mother Jones and people like that, and Paulo Dwyer. But here we have this crowd of yahoos, and Benedict Arnold was a conservative, and so was George III, and so were all royal families. Why anybody boasts about and wants conservatism to be the ruling philosophy of our country is beyond me.
Well, I share your bewilderment. And, the Irish don't walk on water. It wouldn't hurt us to remind ourselves of that every once in a while.
Well, St. Patrick kicked all the snakes out of Ireland, and they came here and became conservatives.
Well, conservatives in the main, Catholics, voted for Nixon.
Yeah.
So, it is true that what's past is prologue. I mean, we've seen this before. When will they ever learn, as the
Yeah.
as the peace song said.
When will they ever learn?
Yeah.
Well, as George Bernard Shaw said about English, the English, who are generally speaking conservative, he said, they think they're being moral when they're merely uncomfortable. Which,
well,
another Irishman.
Yes.
And there we are. But it seems to me that we are, I don't know where we're heading, but I do have great hope. I think we're going to be okay.
Well, you know, I certainly think that's likely, but at the same time, you know, if all good things must come to an end, then all good things will. There's nothing, you know, we are not divine in our personality. The USA is making a lot of mistakes. The invasion of Iraq was a massive blunder.
Yeah.
And we have a rah-rah media that can't wait to get close to the president. They worship power. And every major metropolitan newspaper in this country, put your arms around this, every major metropolitan newspaper in this country supported the invasion of Iraq, including 77 senators.
Yeah.
77 to 23 voted aye on the issue of should the president...
Including Hillary.
Does the president have your permission
to
invade Iraq? Man, I mean, you know, we'd rather win a war than avoid one.
Yeah.
We have no respect for diplomacy. I think even the Irish see the folly of this, you know, because, you know, as they tell us, all our wars are happy, all our songs are sad.
Yeah. Great kings of Ireland are God-made mad men that God made mad, for all their wars are merry and all their songs are sad.
There you go.
An Englishman said that.
You're a better scholar.
No, I'm not. Some things I remember, Phil.
Well,
when
you know,
about what do you, so now our media these days is where you were essentially a pioneer of highly intelligent converse and exchange of ideas and philosophies and views. How do you miss it?
Oh, sure, much of it. I don't miss, you know, getting on the shirt and tie every day and jumping out of a cake, you know, to keep an audience awake for an hour. I mean, that, you know, we worked very hard at that to make sure that the audience didn't leave us, you know, because we had commercials and it's terrible. You know, you're in the middle of something and you're cruising along and you got a break for a commercial.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of walking around, a lot of hand-holding, a lot of encouragement, because if the better shows were the ones where I had to fight the audience off, and that was a big deal for us. It made us feel that we had a show that people were going to stay with us, you know.
Yeah.
And for a guy who had no band, that was a challenge, you know. We didn't, and we were up against shows, you know, that were. We had a visually boring show. Two talking heads, you know. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And Monty Hall was on the other station giving away $5,000 to a woman dressed like a chicken salad sandwich. You know, it was, and the spinning wheels. Come on down. And, you know, those were the times. So, and here I come with Madeline Murray O'Hare, the saints preserve us. The atheist, my God.
As I
she
say,
leans forward and she says to this Notre Dame graduate on one of the very early shows, there are no angels, there's no heaven, there's no hell. When you die, you go to the ground and you are biodegraded. Oh my God, the building fell in and
warm feed, yes. Well, I say I'm an atheist, thank God, and that gives me.
I'm not sure I'm smart enough. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to be a peacenik. You know, that takes a lot of courage.
But you've
especially in
over
this
the
culture.
years, Phil, you which I among one of them, and many things I admire about yourself and so forth, is your absolute, and I would think, if I can use the word in its general terms, Christian tolerance of conservatives. You're so generous and humorous and
Well,
tolerant.
this is a very kind Irish heart. Let me say, if I could do it all again,
Yes.
I might be less doctrinaire. You know, I couldn't understand Ronald Reagan. How in the world can this B actor? You know, I was bewildered to become president of the United States. What is going on?
Yeah.
And I really think in many ways, I might have talked too much. I might have, I've decided if I'm going over, just cut me off, Malachy.
No, keep going. You're doing grand.
I think there's 3 steps to a commitment to peace and, what we all pray will happen. The first commitment is the fun.
Yeah.
We bust our children when they were small.
Yeah.
Everybody's a bigot but us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we turned people off, because we were just absolutely bewildered. How could you possibly believe this? Blah, 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 blah. And that's the first phase. The second phase is a sudden, awesome realization of the enormity of this problem. That's when they killed Martin.
Yeah.
And
Bobby.
Bobby, right.
Yeah.
And, you suddenly wake up and you think, the problem is the Rock of Gibraltar, and you are a feather.
Yeah.
Now, I believe it's at this phase where the saints are made. The people who understand this suddenly come to realize this, and they keep on keeping on anyway.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, I think that's where the saints are made. And I know I've met a lot of the Berrigans.
Yes, Dan
I've
and
met a lot of these people on my show, face to face across the table. I mean, this is an education available at no university, and I got it because of this show, this TV show. I mean, I am blessed. I am a lucky duck. I've met so many people. The first gay person in 1967, nobody was out.
Yeah.
And these people came on and they said, "Yes, I am. Why? What's it to you?" And I looked across the table and I couldn't believe their courage. It's amazing.
Because somebody, I don't know who was it, said, "I don't care what you do, so long as you don't frighten the horses." That's your own business.
Right.
Your sex life,
Right.
And all.
Well,
What do you think about why is it that when we have to use the word, there is no Patrick Henry did not say, "Give me conservatism" or "Give me death." He said, "Give me liberty," the root word of liberal. Why is it that people sneer at this philosophy of that I believe in freedoms, all freedom of speech, of movement, of thought, of writing the word and all? Why is it that people say, "Oh, liberal," sneer?
Liberal is the political idea that dare not speak its name.
Yeah.
In fact, it's been so bastardized that we've actually run away from the word. We're not liberals now. We're progressives. I'm a progressive, so excuse you for breathing. We've changed the name, for God's sake. That's how it's been denigrated over the years. A liberal is a hypocrite. Is a liberal with indoor plumbing. And the liberals to the conservatives. Liberals are people who want to take my money and give it to lazy people who don't work. That's the big bugaboo.
Well, I'm to the left of Karl Marx, and that's.
God love you. I hope you have security.
Well, when you look at on the thing about I think you were raised Catholic as I was, and I have been rescued from that. But the reward for doing good, if you do this guy's bidding in the sky, you get to sit at his right hand, and then you go look left and gaze at his right earlobe for all eternity. But then, if you're looking left, then you have to see me on the other side with Karl Marx. So I don't think that people that eternal happiness is possible if you have to look left. You look left, yeah. You have to look left. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I don't know if we're. I mean, I'm a little discouraged now. I'm not as self-righteous as I used to be.
But you never were self-righteous.
Well, that's a good thing. I went through several years of just totally bewildered at how conservatives could possibly not favor the rescue of the Ford Motor Company. Come on. I mean, you're talking about live people.
Yes.
With kids.
Right.
But, we had an awful lot of people show up at marches recently. The biggest one, I think, was Washington. We have to be, we've got Bernie.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not alone. And we are the patriots, for God's sake. Yeah. We believe in the Constitution. We don't think you should be peeking in windows if you're the government.
Do you have any reservations about the
phone calls?
Do you have any reservations?
We believe in the Constitution. What's so radical about that?
Well, do you have any reservations about the Second Amendment?
I do, of course. But I happen to think, there's a couple of things we have to realize going into this nightmare of an argument.
Yeah.
You can't confiscate all the guns.
No.
You can't go through everybody's attic. So let's be realistic here.
And sensible.
Yes, you cannot ban guns. You can regulate them.
Yeah. Like cars.
Anybody,
like traffic.
And the NRA's got this huge mailing list. All their computers go into action at the day after a mass shooting. Can you imagine the mail that's going out from the NRA today?
Yeah.
I mean, they are in overdrive. And to the NRA, the freedom to own a gun and carry is dogma. Telling the NRA that they can't take a gun into a church or a presidential rally is like telling a Christian that God is not divine, Jesus isn't divine. That is dogma, and that's what, the NRA believes. It's dogma that we should be free to own firearms. And now we're into the semi-automatic, the automatic, and we got now a stock that changes. I didn't know about the stock. You know that?
Yeah.
They're talking about it now.
Goes up. After all these massacres. There's 15 children get shot every day in America. 90 people get shot every day, get killed by gunfire. We've had, since 9/11, we've had close to 500,000 people have been killed by gunfire from licensed guns, people being careless and all of that. And we have 3,000 people were killed then, and here we have 500,000 people killed by ourselves. Should we be concentrating on this internal terrorism? It's so bloody stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe in the people want to do. Why not have a look at people who are cuckoo and don't give them a gun? Or people who are violent, or people who threaten women, or in domestic situations and all of that. Why not regulate it? Oh, no, we can't do that, We can't buy tanks and all of that.
That's right.
Well, anyway, Phil Donahue, this is still Malachy McCourt here. You're on WBAI, and you're going to be at the Irish American Writers and Artists on the 16th of October at the Manhattan Club at Rosie O'Grady's, which is at 52nd Street. And anybody that wants to come and have a look at you, I think they could join up. And if you want to be a writer, too, or if you want to associate with writers. And also, you will get a chance and also witness two people involved in one of the great love affairs of the century, Philip and Marlowe. And a beautiful, lovely lady. Aren't you lucky?
Oh, aren't I? My father-in-law, Danny Thomas, used to tell his audiences at the Sands Hotel in Vegas, behind every great man is a woman who thinks he's an idiot.
And you are not that, sir. We're lovely.
She's heard me speak, but she's coming anyway. I mean, the girl's definitely going to heaven.
That is terrific. Well, Phil, your health is good. And
yes, I'm rolling along. Yes,
that you are. And also you were the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Parade out in Queens this year. And you did a good job of marching up ahead. So well done, my good friend. And we'll see you on the 16th of October at 6 p.m. at Rosie O'Grady's. And
I'm looking for you.
I'll be looking for yourself. I think I'll know you. I think I'll recognize you.
Okay, Malachy,
thank you a lot, Phil. Best to her lovely self.
You're a very kind man, and I do thank you.
Well, you're a grand man yourself. Blessings on your cranium a day at a time. Thanks, Phil.
All right.
Bye-bye
Goodbye now, my good man.